So, this is the first hump day in a good while where there really isn't anything going on tonight, by my knowledge. So, with that said, let's see, what would my low be? Actually, I guess this really isn't anything that I did specifically, but as I was helping my father get the garbage out last night, which was my act of kindness, by the way, my parents have a really weird garage door where, like, sometimes it starts closing at random, and, like, no damage was done. So, like, as my father's pulling out, as I'm trying to move the garbage cans, like, that's when the garage door starts going down. It didn't, I didn't really see any damage to my father's car, but the garage door has, like, not like a giant hole through it. There's like a little gash in, like, the initial, like, area from the inside, but I didn't really see anything on the outside. So, needless to say, it's like the very bottom of the garage door too that hit my father's. Because, like, my father drives a truck, and there was this, like, little black sort of fin, like, on the very top back center of, like, the cabin where you sit. Like, that part, that fin, that's what hit the door. So, upon first glance, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but, it still led to something bad happening. And, needless to say, my mom was not happy at all. She's actually yelling at my dad. I'm like, what I do? I'm taking out the garbage. I'm literally standing, like, far away from, like, the garage. I'm basically, like, I'm standing in, like, on the side, on one of the sides of the garage in the exact middle. Far away from the door opening, and far away from, like, the actual door opener. Because, the door opener would be right by the door before you go walking into your house. So, yeah, that really wasn't fun. But other than that, yesterday was a pretty good day overall. Nothing great happened. I got to see my mom and my dad last night outside of, the story I just mentioned. What else happened? I got to watch, my mom and I just, like, watching stuff like, usually when I watch TV with my mom and I visit, it's usually stuff like Food Network or HGTV. She really likes watching those shows, the HGTV shows. Hometown, Property Brothers, Fixer Upper, Flip It or Flop It. Oh, excuse me. Like, she really loves watching those. Although I see a lot of Hometowns on a lot recently. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'll Love It or Listed, I think, is what she watches. So, a lot of neat stuff, I guess. Let's see, what constitutes a, alright, tell me that's the kindness already up. Yeah, the whole act of kindness thing was sort of kind of ruined by the garage door. But, I still did the thing. Not to mention, I also helped clear the table after dinner. And, yeah, there really isn't, much else. Other than, I guess the only other low is, because here's the thing, I said yesterday I was going to do 2 Mom Foods in a row. Yesterday and, today. I was really kind of looking forward to last night because I knew what my mom was going to make, and I thought she was going to make it the way I thought she would. But then again, my mother has made this mom food so many different ways that for the life of me, I honestly can't really tell you what she'll do with it. It's actually very versatile mom food. Definitely not vegan. I can guarantee you that. I say it's versatile. I say it's versatile when I just talked about chicken yesterday. No, it's the one other meat you would argue that's just as, if not more, versatile than chicken that you often. Well, actually, you know what? Oh my goodness. Now I know why it's called the other meat. It's pork chops. Yeah. My mom made pork chops last night. And seriously, I think of like all of any meat related thing. Oh, hold on. Happy hump day, everyone. I think of all meat related things that I've had growing up. I have to say, I think pork chops may take it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had other stuff like growing up too. I mean, my mom did a great job in trying to get me to be more versatile, flexible, trying to, have more variety in what I eat. And for that, I will be forever grateful. But as I'm sitting here right now, I'm just thinking about how pork chops are. I know that some chefs out there are thinking like, really, pork chops? Well, I see why, because pork chops they're basically steaks, but they're pork. That's pretty much what it is. In fact, no kidding, pork chops are actually so easy to make. They're one of the first things I ever made for my folks back before I moved out. This is like years ago. Because I remember watching like Anthony Bourdain talking about how to cook a steak. And I remember my mom gave me the task of making dinner for like one of the first times ever. And as I was preparing the pork chops, I was thinking about what Anthony Bourdain said and how you cook a steak. Well, a pork chop is a pretty thick piece of meat, like a steak. So it stands to reason that if I treat a pork chop like I'm supposed to treat a steak, it should be pretty good. And here's the thing. My parents don't really do a lot of grilling, only on like special occasions or whatever. Usually if there's like a meat like a steak or pork chop or something like that, my mother's go-to answer has always been to broil it. Which, honestly, that's what I always do too. I mean, here's the thing. I can't have an indoor grill, nor can I have a grill outside because I live in an apartment building. But if I did have my own place, a grill may be something I would definitely invest in. Or at least an indoor one. Get like a whole vent and everything. So, that'd be nice. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, obviously, if you've ever had pork chops before, you know there really isn't much technically. But my mom has actually made several different variations of pork chops over the years. Some she used to make, she doesn't really make anymore. Some that she still makes to this very day. And honestly, what we had last night was literally just one she threw in the slow cooker. She watched my nephews yesterday. That's why they're in the slow cooker. But she'll put them in the slow cooker. She'll broil them. And over the years, my mom has actually done several different variations of pork chops. In fact, I can think of at least 3 or 4 right off the bat. I mean, you have to just a pork chop, salt, pepper, broil, and, you're done. Make sure you cook it properly, though, because, undercooked pork could potentially make you sick. But not, here's the thing. A little pink in pork is good. I think, 145 is, the perfect doneness for a pork chop. Or any kind of pork product, I think. Don't I think that's what it is. Someone needs to look that up for me. Excuse me. Um, Right, there's that. I mean, I mentioned she uses slow cooker, pretty much the same thing. But another slow cooker variation that she does is, and this is what I thought she was going to make last night, by the way. Sometimes my mom will take pork chops, get sauerkraut, walnuts, apples, and raisins of all things, and put that in the slow cooker and let that go all day. That is actually quite good. That one I definitely recommend. Two variations of pork chops that she doesn't make anymore, that she did used to, was, I mean, we've all heard of shake and bake. She's done shake and bake pork chops before. Those are actually quite good. But one that she hasn't done in so long, and maybe it's because it was sort of a kid's thing that my brother and I outgrew, but what she would do is she would cook the pork chops, and then when they were about done cooking, she would take pizza sauce and cheese. That's right, folks. She made pizza pork chops. And you're probably, where's the pepperoni? Dude, pepperoni is a pork product. And this is a pizza pork chop. You don't really need pepperoni here. I mean, looking back at it, she probably could have. I need to ask my mom if that's one thing she may do one day. I wouldn't mind showing that off. To be perfectly honest, looking back on what I just did today in terms of this video, I'm actually kind of glad I did it like this. I mean, yeah, I'd be able to... I mean, honestly, there are so many like pork chop related dishes that my mom has made over the years that each one could technically garner its own video, but it really wouldn't be as great of a quality. Honestly, this video was a lot better. There is actually one variation of pork chop I haven't mentioned yet. And the reason being is because it involves something that I want to save for much, much, much later. In fact, I don't really know how many Mom Food Chronicles are left. I know there's definitely quite a few left. But should that fated day come where I'm approaching the end, this thing that I'm alluding to right now is what I would save for second to last. There is one thing I am saving for last, but this thing I'm hinting at, this would be second to last, for sure. So, other than that, it's been a pretty okay thing to have growing up. I mean, I will admit there was actually one time where I realized, wait, we're killing pigs to make pork chops? It was so weird because, I learned that, in school one day, and then for, a long time, I was like, okay, I'm going to become a vegetarian. And this is, when I was a little kid, 7 years old, I think it was when this happened. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to have pork ever again. And then, sure enough, I get home, and I had pork chops for dinner. And, yeah. So, that wound up happening. I mean, let's be honest. I'm pretty sure any and all people who are not vegan or vegetarian have at least contemplated about going that way, or at least cutting more meat out of their diet, just because, it's the right thing to do. And me personally, yeah, I mean, I don't really have it that often. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I do have. There's a lot of stuff I have that is not even remotely vegan, or vegetarian for that matter. But, if I'm offered, a big salad for dinner that completely happens to be a 100% vegan, sure. It better be a big salad, though, man. What was that one Queen Latifah movie I think she was in? Hold on, I'm gonna look that up. Because there's like this one movie that Queen Latifah was in, where, like in the trailer, she's like, man, you better be willing to pack more money you want, man. I'm not one of them salad eating girls. That's what she said. What was the name of that movie? I should know the name of that movie. It actually didn't really look that quite bad of a movie, to be fair. I mean, hold on. I think, if I look it up, hold on. Just Right, maybe? Oh, yeah, Just Right, okay. Yeah, it was Just Right. The, where she's like a physical therapist for like a basketball player, and Common is like, no, she's a an athletic physical therapist, and, Common is like a professional basketball player, and they both fall in love. Actually, I didn't think the trailer. I'm just looking up right now to see how. Because I get the feeling, okay. You got mixed reviews, 46% Rotten Tomatoes. It's definitely better than I was, hoping. Ooh, interesting. Back when the late great Roger Ebert was alive, he actually gave Just Right 3 out of 4 stars. So that can't really be that bad. Basically, according to what the Rotten Tomatoes consensus reads, I'm reading this right now, is well-intentioned but formulaic. Okay. Just Right has winning leads but can't overcome its preponderance of cliches. So, everything you've seen in Just Right, you've probably seen hundreds of times. That's all they're complaining about. So, I guess if I were to saw Just Right with the right crowd, I would, no pun intended, I would probably, I'd probably enjoy it. Huh. How do you think about that? So, wow, I went from talking about pork chops to Queen Latifah movies. I wonder if there's a metaphor there. I know there shouldn't be a metaphor, but I feel there should be a metaphor there. I don't know why. I know there isn't, but why does it feel like there is? Yeah. Like, favorite, chat, subscribe, and follow me on social media. I'm totally on YouTube. I enjoyed Home Moons video for all of you guys who watch. Enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, you guys want to talk to chat. I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. Have a nice day.